Congratulations, you just won it life. You are officially a trillionaire, the first one ever. You're sitting on a mountain of cash so tall it makes Elon Musk look like he's running a lemonade stand. If you burned $1 million every single day, you wouldn't run out of money until the year 4700. You don't just own the game, you own the stadium, the players, and the air they breathe. But there is a massive, terrifying catch. The world knows. Suddenly, you are the most hunted face on the planet. You're more famous than a Kardashian at a Met Gala. Your old life? Gone. You can't even look out your window because there are hundreds of people on the sidewalk, some with cameras, some with "Marry Me" signs, and some who are just staring. Paranoia kicks in. You don't just hire a bodyguard, you hire a private army. We're talking 15 elite ex-Special Forces operators on a 24-hour rotation. This is the kind of security detail usually reserved for the Pope or a sitting president. Your old Toyota Corolla, that's a death trap now. So you buy Ferrari. No, not a car, the entire company. You drop $5 billion like it's pocket change. To you, that's 0.5% of your net worth, the equivalent of a normal person buying a nice pair of sneakers. Your accountant doesn't even call you. He just marks it as a rounding error and goes back to sleep. You need a fortress. You buy a 20-acre estate behind 12-foot reinforced walls. It has a private mile-long driveway so nobody can even see your front door from the street. But a castle needs a kingdom of servants. Within a month, you have 63 people living on your payroll, 3 world-class chefs on 8-hour shifts, a full IT department just to manage your encrypted servers, a personal assistant whose only job is to manage your other personal assistants. Everything runs like a Swiss watch. You're bored. So you buy a Boeing 787 Dreamliner, gut the seats, and turn it into a flying mansion with a marble shower. Total cost, $500 million. You buy a private archipelago in the Maldives. You build a mega yacht with its own onboard hospital and submarine bay. Here is the part nobody tells you. $1 trillion breeds money faster than you can dump it. Even in the safest, most boring bank accounts, you're waking up $80 million richer every single morning just by existing. One morning, you just want a coffee. Not a hand-pressed organic bean from your chef, just a regular latte from the shop you've used for a decade. Your security team needs an hour of lead time to sweep the building. When you finally walk in, the room goes silent. The barista's hands are shaking so hard she spills the milk. Half the shop is filming you with their phones hidden behind napkins. The coffee tastes the same, but the world feels broken. So you stop going. You try to do good. You write a check for $10 million to a local charity. The news mentions it for 5 seconds, then people start complaining. Why only $10 million? To you, that's what you earned while you were eating lunch. They don't see a hero, they see a stingy billionaire. The strangers are bad, but the people you know are worse. Your phone never stops ringing, but it's never a friend asking to hang out. It's lawyers with opportunities. Prime ministers asking for infrastructure loans, charity directors guilt-tripping you for a wing of a hospital. Your old friends start acting weird. They weigh every word. You invite your old high school best friend over for the weekend. He used to roast you. Now he agrees with everything you say. He laughs at your terrible jokes. He's careful. The friendship is dead. It's been replaced by an interview for a job he doesn't realize he's applying for. Then come the lawsuits, 22 of them in the first year. A guy you met once in 2012 claims you stole his business idea. A woman says you promised her a house at a party you never attended. Your legal team uses the word frivolous so much it loses all meaning. Each case cost you $500,000 just to make go away. You're the deepest pocket on earth, and everybody has a shovel. Then you meet someone. She's brilliant. She's funny. She doesn't mention the money. For 3 weeks, you feel human again. Then she makes a comment about your private island, a place you never told her about. She knows your pilot's name. She knows which vintage of wine you hate. She did her homework. Everybody does. Now every kiss and every I love you is haunted by a single question. Does she love me, or does she love the $80 million I made while we were at dinner? Once that thought enters your head, it never leaves. You stop calling. She stops texting. This is where the story shifts from expensive to expensive and lonely. We're leaning into the psychological thriller aspect of being too rich to function. But the story doesn't end with a breakup. 2 weeks later, you're scrolling through a tabloid and see your own face staring back. Inside the Trillionaire's secret romance. There are photos of you at the bistro, photos of her leaving your fortress. You didn't leak it, she didn't leak it, but a waiter or a valet, someone who saw a payday instead of a person, picked up the phone. Now her life is over. Her address, her job, her family, it's all public. Strangers are flooding her inbox with hate. By just sitting across from her at dinner, you've essentially erased her anonymity forever. You send an apology, she doesn't reply. You didn't just lose a girlfriend, you realized you're radioactive. And if you think the media is done with you, think again. The leaks start coming from inside the house. Someone from your past sells a story about a stupid joke you made in a college dorm back in 2011. Stripped of context, the headline makes you look like a monster. Within 48 hours, millions of people who have never met you have decided exactly who you are. Your PR team tells you to stay silent, so you sit behind your 7 monitors and watch a friend sell your reputation for $250,000. To you, that's a rounding error. To them, it was worth destroying a 15-year friendship. But the true breaking point isn't a friend, it's family. Your mother calls. For 10 minutes, you're just a son again. She asks if you're eating, she talks about the birds in her garden. Your jaw finally unclenches. Then she mentions your brother. He's behind on his mortgage. His car is falling apart. She doesn't ask for money, but the subtext is screaming. You have more than entire countries, and he's your blood. You send him $5 million that afternoon. He doesn't call to thank you. 3 months later, you fly the whole family out on your private Boeing 747 for the holidays. Your brother sits at the far end of the table. He talks to everyone except you. He leaves before dessert without saying goodbye. Your mom calls a week later, crying. Your brother told the family that the money ruined everything. You've built a gap between you and your own blood that $100 million can't bridge. You can't unsend the wealth. You can't walk into his house with 2 armed guards waiting in the driveway. The bridge is burned, and you're the one who provided the matches. Eventually, the compound becomes your entire world. You stop trying to reach out. You find comfort in the 63 people on your staff, until your head of security reveals that Linda, your housekeeper, has been selling photos of your private hallway to gossip blogs. You watch from a second-story window as she's escorted off the property carrying a cardboard box. She doesn't look up. By Friday, she's replaced by a new face. You try to escape. You take your mega yacht out into the Mediterranean. The sunset is gold. The dinner is prepared by a Michelin-starred chef, but the table is set for one. You return home and go to bed early. Your master suite is bigger than your first apartment, but at 3 a.m., the silence is deafening. You walk through your own house like a ghost. The movie theater, empty. The library, empty. The only sound is the faint mechanical hum of a security camera tracking your movement as you walk down the hall. You go outside and stand on the lawn. The grass is cold and wet. You look up at the stars, the same stars you used to look at from a crappy rooftop when your rent was late and you didn't have a care in the world. The stars haven't moved. Everything underneath them has. You go back inside, past the wine cellar filled with bottles that cost more than a year's rent, and sit in your office. Outside, the security shift changes. New faces replace the old ones. The groundskeeper mows the lawn. Over 60 people work here, but you are the only one who actually lives here. You have everything, and you have absolutely nothing. So think again. Do you still want to be a trillionaire?